Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Charles Rather. I'm managing partner here at AmLaw Group. Today, we wanted to talk about some client success stories with second passports in getting E-2 visas and how that's working out with the AMIGOS Act. So before we get into the details, I just wanted to remind you, if you find this information helpful, please leave a like below in the comments, and if even better yet, maybe subscribe for our channel. It's good for us and the Google algorithms, and it's actually even good for you because it'll give you up-to-date information and keep you posted as soon as we post any new videos or information related to business immigration in the United States. I think that's always an exciting topic. If you're here for this discussion, I'm sure some of our other videos will actually be of interest to you as well. So getting back to the topic of today, E-2 visas with second passports. There was a collective gasp, I think, that erupted in December of 2022 when the AMIGOS Act was passed by the U.S. Congress. And I don't think many people saw this coming. But what the AMIGOS Act said was that if you use a second passport that was acquired through financial investments, then you need to show you had domicile in that country for 3 years prior to filing for the E-2 visa. Never before was there a similar provision in U.S. law. And obviously the most typical candidates for second citizenship include, a lot of jurisdictions in the Caribbean, including Grenada, Malta, even Portugal, and some other countries. So I think obviously this law was targeted at limiting abuse, where people were forum shopping, trying to get a second passport purely for purposes of getting the E-2 without ever having even visited the country. So maybe there were good intentions there, but I think the law was very faulty, and a lot of loopholes I think that exist in as well. To find out more details about some of those problems and ways that our clients can get around some of the issues of the law, you should check out some of our other videos where we talk about this in more detail. But the important thing is I wanted to say is, to this date, so we're roughly about October 2023, the provisions of the law are still not being applied at the U.S. consulates. So I think people that are worried about the 3-year requirement prior to filing, etc., they can sleep better at night, understanding that the posts, the consulates are not applying this rule at this point in time. Confirmation of that for us was just recently. We had 2 clients who used a Turkish passport that was acquired through the investment program in Turkey. They acquired the passports within the last year, so relatively recently, certainly not 3 years. I mean, they couldn't even had an opportunity to have domicile there for 3 years. And we recommended them going to the embassy in the Dominican Republic, where we've been having good success lately. Very good success there in terms of handling E-2 petitions. And in fact, these were actually Russian nationals. So with the conflict going in Ukraine, obviously there's definitely heightened scrutiny and heightened number of denials for Russian nationals lately, I can tell you that. So they're Russian nationals with Turkish second passports filing for an E-2, went through just with flying colors. Everything was totally fine. No real questions or problems about the Turkish passports. And in fact, I also wanted to add that the business that our client used is one that we've talked about on this channel and some other places. It's a turnkey franchise for property management. So that was very encouraging to see yet some more successful clients of ours who had invested in this property management franchise that's turnkey, nothing really that required from the investor. The franchisor is willing to do all the work. And based on that business model and with the Turkish passports, those 2 clients were able to get their E-2 approved, and they're happily in the U.S. right now. So again, good advice or good news regarding the E-2 and the AMIGOS Act. Stay tuned with us in the future for any changes to this, whether it's E-2, EB-5, or any other business immigration. We're one of your best sources for information on how to best manage that process. Until our next meeting, again, this was Charles Rather.